Hello, I am back. I took quite the hiatus. Some of you already know, and I'm sure a lot don't, that I found out that I was pregnant about the time I stopped making videos because I started feeling sick. And sure enough, I was pregnant. It wasn't planned at all. This will be our fourth kid, and my youngest will be 8. So it's quite the caboose that we were not planning on. We thought we were done a long time ago. So kind of went through a period of like shock on top of getting hit really hard with morning sickness. But for me, it's like all day sickness, really, really bad, like hyperemesis bad for me. But I'm 14 weeks now and I'm feeling like life is coming back. Like I can function again. So I just felt like I didn't have a lot to give when I was struggling so much with the sickness. And so I was just trying to focus on basically my family and myself. But it's nice to be back because I do miss making videos. As I went through this last several weeks not feeling well, I had a lot of thoughts. And this video is going to be kind of like a ramble, so bear with me or just choose not to listen. One of the thoughts I had initially when I started feeling really sick, and I was having a really hard time finding foods that sounded good because I was so nauseated and it was hard to keep things down because of the hyperemesis. And I remember thinking, I can't believe I actually intentionally restricted my food before, like with my eating disorder. I'm so grateful now, even though I'm not grateful I got so sick. I was so grateful to be recovered pregnant because my other 3 pregnancies were IVF and I was still very eating disordered throughout them. And so if I was craving a grilled cheese sandwich before those first few pregnancies and that's all I wanted, I would not let myself eat it because I was afraid of grilled cheese sandwiches. So it was so nice this time to just honor those cravings. And I ate a lot of grilled cheese sandwiches, a lot of grilled cheese sandwiches. I had a friend that brought them to me every day, which was so sweet. And I loved them. And I loved being able to just lay in my bed and eat those and not have any guilt and be grateful that I could just eat whatever it was that I craved. So many things like that I just became, because I was comparing it to my other pregnancies, like, oh my gosh, recovery is amazing. It was amazing before I became pregnant, but wow, it's just, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And this video isn't just, to talk about pregnancy. It's really just to talk about how much your life opens up when you don't have an eating disorder. When we're trying to shrink our body, when we're trying to follow all of the eating disorder rules, our world kind of like morphs into this tiny little bubble that we live in, right? Relationships kind of suffer, family dynamics kind of suffer, interests that you have kind of dwindle, and it all just becomes, how do you cater to your eating disorder? And when you're recovered, your life opens up again so much. And I have people all the time that will ask me, well, like, I've struggled most of my like teens, adult life. I don't even really know what my interests are. I don't know what my personality would be without my eating disorder. And I'm like, I can only promise you it would be better. I can only promise you that your personality will be so much better because it'll be fully you. It'll be the authentic you without being tainted by the eating disorder. And the interests, like, maybe perhaps are different than when you were 10. I'm sure they probably are. But how fun to be able to kind of like re-explore what those things are that you enjoy. Though, like, literally the world has no limits. You can choose anything that you want when you don't have an eating disorder, and that is very liberating and really freeing. So like I said, this was going to be kind of like a hodgepodge of random thoughts. I didn't have like an organized topic that I wanted to talk about today, other than I'm happy to be back. I'll start making videos more regularly so you can ask me questions. I'll have to go back on the older videos and see which questions I haven't answered yet, but if you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments or email me. I do offer coaching, and I have been coaching throughout being sick, and my very, very sweet clients have borne with me doing a lot of appointments out of my bed. They would see like the bed frame behind me and be like, are you in bed? I was like, yes, I am. So I really did. And that was another thing about being recovered and being pregnant and sick, was it was so nice to just like, my body didn't want to do anything. It wanted to lay in bed for weeks and weeks and weeks, with the exception of like an occasional shower. I know that's gross. And I would go to the bathroom, but I pretty much had people bringing me food, or I would do DoorDash. I didn't really leave my room. The rest of my house smelled weird to me, so I didn't really like leave my bed for weeks and weeks and weeks. And not once did I have the thought, other than I'm so grateful that I don't worry about this stuff anymore, but I never was like, oh my gosh, I have to get up. In my first trimesters of my other pregnancy, or my first trimester of my other pregnancies, I would be this sick, but I was so used to feeling miserable and crappy that I would just push through the pain, I guess, because I still would go work out. And I can't fathom like how that would make any sense in this last trimester, why I would ever do that. I did not want to do that. It was the last thing I thought to do. And it was so nice to be able to just accept that and be okay with it and embrace whatever it is my body needed to do to be able to grow this baby inside of me. Yeah, I'm just really, really grateful. We're so grateful for my health, and I'm so grateful to be where I'm at in recovery. And the only reason I'm there is because I pushed through recovery. It's not easy. I think people sometimes underestimate how much energy and commitment and focus has to be your number one priority. And oftentimes I have clients or people email me and say, but I'm a mom and I have kids, like how can I just be number one? And I'm like, well, it's like the oxygen mask thing you've heard a million times. Like make yourself number one in recovery, talk to your kids about what's going on, and then you can make them number one because you are present and you can be there for them. So I don't know how I got started on that, but that's where because someone was talking to me about that last night, actually. I was messaging with someone about, she's a mother of 10 and she's trying to recover. She's like, how do I do that? How do I put myself before all of my kids? And I'm like, you tell them that you are number one right now. And it pays off. And that's the only reason that I'm able to experience the freedoms that I do now. And I don't share that with you to be like, look at me, I recovered. I say that to inspire and motivate you, that it really is worth it. Those really, really hard moments where you're crawling out of your skin, you want to give up, or the world is screaming at you for all these reasons why you shouldn't be doing this or that or eating this. I'm telling you that ignore all of it because recovery is so worth it. And trust people that have been through it. Myself, there's a lot of other coaches out there with experience that are really good. Trust the people that have walked in your shoes rather than all the other outside noise that you're hearing, because that can distract you so fast and take you right off track, back down a path of where you don't want to go. So glad to be back. I said that about 3 times now, but I really am. And I'll be a little better about making videos. Okay, bye.